Hello and welcome. Now in this video we're going to be talking about some advanced online business building steps, and we're going to do an overview right now about what we are going to be talking about for the next several videos. Now you've probably already mastered the principles of affiliate marketing, and this is really the first step. It's your entryway into making money online. And what you're doing in affiliate marketing, of course, is you are selecting an offer. You're going to one of the affiliate networks, finding it, and then you're promoting it on those places where people gather to talk about their interest or to talk about their problem, that you are providing a solution for them through the product that you are promoting. Now, there are a few other steps that if you can add on to your understanding of affiliate marketing, you are actually going to be able to build a more complete online business. We're going to be talking about that in these videos. So what you'll need to do is to focus on these next steps, or these things that you're going to be adding on to the foundation that you already have. Those things are list building, joint ventures, and product creation. If you don't know what those are, and if they sound intimidating, don't allow them to be. These are going to be just as natural as the principles that you learned in affiliate marketing. When you add them on, you are going to be able to increase your income. Now, when you add these things to your business, you are going to see your sales increase, and you're going to be able to generate more consistent cash flow from your online business. Now, when we talk about list building, we are basically talking about managing your customers and prospects using email marketing. You probably purchased a course like this, or you may have purchased something online and you found out about it through email. And you are going to find out how to do this in this set of videos. Now, this list building and email marketing, it is the most profitable and efficient way to make money online. You may have heard the expression that the money is in the list. Well, you're going to know how to build your own list so that you can email that list and you can generate additional income. Now, in most of this advanced course, most of what we're going to be talking about in this set of videos, we are going to focus on that process. But there are some other aspects that when you add them on, they will also increase your income. One of those things is product creation. And this is producing your own information product, either from scratch or with help from other marketers. We are going to talk about that in this course. Joint ventures, and this is a great way for you to be able to get traffic to your offers that you create by working with others who are also product creators and other affiliate marketers inside of your market or niche. Now, since you're going to benefit from email marketing and list building, probably, and we're going to focus the most, we're going to start our discussion here. We're going to start our discussion about how you can start, even as an affiliate marketer, to build your own list, and so that you can generate more income and more profit. So with that, thanks, and I will see you in the next video. Hello and welcome. Now in this video, we're going to be talking about the first step in your doing email marketing or list building. Now, you've probably received an email from time to time from other marketers and other entrepreneurs, and those emails come in a form that looks like this. When you see the email, it'll look something like this, and if you scroll down at the bottom, you'll notice that you can either unsubscribe or change your contact details. These are emails that are being sent by an autoresponder company. And what these autoresponder companies do is they allow you to send email without fear of anyone ever accusing you of being a spammer, because in order to send an email from an autoresponder company, you have to get permission from the receiver. And that is why autoresponder companies are important for you to use in terms of being able to market your business. One of the things that you don't want to do is to start emailing your customers or emailing prospects through email, because first of all, again, it would be difficult to prove that that person gave you permission, and this will actually, this email, if I send it from this address, would probably end up in a spam folder. And you want your customers to be able to get your emails so that they can see what it is that you have to offer. It's for that reason that you're going to want to get your own autoresponder account so that you can send emails just like this. Now, while there are several companies that marketers use, there are three primary accounts or primary companies that most internet marketers use in order to do email marketing. One is called MailChimp. You want to be aware with MailChimp that even though it's free to start, they are not big fans of affiliate marketing. And there are times when if you use MailChimp, you could run afoul of their terms of service. One marketing company or one autoresponder company that's friendly to internet marketers is GetResponse. And you'll actually see a number of large-scale marketers using GetResponse. It's a great company to use in order for you to use their tools to send in emails to your customers and prospects. And it'll have everything that we need that we're going to be talking about in this course. Another company is Aweber. They're also friendly to internet marketers and understand how you do business as well as the features that you need in order to start and run your online business. So in order to get started, one of the things that you'll need to do is you'll probably need to pick a company. And again, either one of these companies are going to be good. Again, if you choose to use MailChimp, remember that even though it's free and even though it's free to get started, there are going to be some times when you may be restricted in terms of the things that you want to do in your internet marketing business. So with that, thanks, and I will see you in the next video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we are going to enter into one of the autoresponder company accounts. We're going to set up an email list, and we're going to set up a form where people can put their name and email address in order for them to become part of your customer database. Now, while you can certainly use any of the other autoresponder companies that we talked about in an earlier video, we are going to be working with GetResponse for this course. So we're going to go into the GetResponse dashboard, and we're going to start by setting up a list there. Now that you've set up your account with GetResponse, what we are going to do is we're going to start by creating a campaign. And all we've got to do here is there is a drop-down menu here, and we are going to get started by going to that drop-down menu, and then we're going to select this link that says Create Campaign. And we're going to start there. So go ahead and click that link that says Create Campaign. And then you're going to come to a space where you're going to name your campaign. Now, this name does have to be unique across all of the GetResponse customers as well as all of their lists. So one of the things that I do in order to create a unique name is I will name it based on my niche as well as the year as well as the month and then sometimes even the day. So in this particular case, if I'm going to be working with the internet marketing and I'm going to be working, let's say, in February of 2015, and let's say I might be working at the 28th day. Okay, then this will give me an idea, and it'll also give me a little reference point as to when I actually created the list. And so I'm going to go ahead and click Create Campaign. And what you're going to notice there is that this has already been successfully created. Now, you may get a message that says that your list name has been taken. You might have to do another one. But if you pretty much use something like the system that I just showed you, you are going to be fine in terms of your name being available. Now, you're going to see 4 spaces here. One where we talk about creating a newsletter, creating an autoresponder, and editing campaign settings. For now, I'm not going to talk about creating a newsletter or creating an autoresponder. What I am going to do is I'm going to go into editing my campaign settings. So let's do that now. And when you come in, what you're going to want to do is to come to the Profile tab. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to edit my campaign title. I'm going to call it something unique. I'm going to write in a unique title based on what I know I'm going to be doing in terms of collecting names and email addresses for this list. Okay, so I have a unique name. I'm going to click Save. Then they kind of want you to kind of put your list into a category. We can do that. And in this particular case, I'm going to say that I'm primarily focusing on education. And then I'm going to go ahead and save that. I'm going to do my campaign description. Okay, so I've got a little description there. I'm going to go ahead and click Save. right? And because it's going to be about those who want to learn how to make money online, I'm going to write that in there. Whatever your particular market is, you can just write that in there into your campaign description. If you have a logo for your online company, you can put that there. All you're going to have to do is upload it. I'm going to skip that step. We're not going to do that right now, and we are going to go on to the next step. Now, if you're just getting started, you can leave these default settings the way they are. You do want to have a confirmed opt-in for those who subscribe by email or web subscriptions. When you get more advanced, you may want to work without the confirmed opt-in, but as you get started, it's best to go ahead and use double opt-in. You can actually have this message being sent by HTML, or in other words, they're going to see images instead of just a plain text email. But again, you can leave these default settings unless you have an idea of why you want to change them to either a custom URL. You can just let your confirmation page be hosted by GetResponse. So we're going to leave those settings there. Now, what I'm going to do now is we're going to go back to this general tab here, put in any details that I'll need. But for the most part, I'm going to suggest that you leave the default settings in the general tab unless you have a reason to change them. Now, if we completed that, we're going to now go to the next step. And that next step is to create a web form. So we're going to go here, we're going to click Create New, and we're going to click that link in the dashboard. Now, what we're going to do at this page is we're basically going to create a form where your customer or your prospect they're going to put their name and email address, and when they put it in there, it's going to automatically be stored at GetResponse inside of a database of your names and email addresses, and it will prove that you have permission to send these customers and prospects email. So what you're going to do is to pick one of these designs, maybe one of the ones that you feel is most or closest to what it is that you are going to be offering, and then when you do that, then you're just going to click and you're going to click Apply. And then that's going to give you the ability to work on this to work on this some. If you want to make it larger, you can do that. And what you're going to do here is you're going to write in here. Things that will entice your site visitor in order to come and actually get what it is that you have to offer them. Now, we're going to be talking about that in the next video. We're going to be talking about giving your site subscribers a bribe in order for you to get their name and email address. And this is what you're going to kind of fill in here. We do have to do this step before we talk about a bribe so that you'll know how to edit your form. And when you determine what your bribe is, you're going to write in here something that will entice your visitors to want your bribe. But for now, what we're going to do is we're just going to write in a line here, even though we know we're going to come back and change it. Okay, so I've written this in here, and again, we may come back and change this once we determine what our bribe is. I'm going to click Apply, and then we basically have a form where our users can actually sign up. If you want to work with that button to make it a little more centered. And then what we want to do is we want to just click Next Step, and that's going to bring us to a page where we're going to be looking at the list of choices here. We want to just leave the default settings the way they are and click Default Thank You Page, because that's where we're going to look. Now, when you get to be more advanced or you have a good idea of what you want to do with some of these other things, you can do them. But if you're just getting started, it's probably a good idea just to use the default settings and to go forward. So basically now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the next step. We're just going to click Next Step here. And that's going to bring us to this page. Now, for purposes of this course, we're going to use this button that says GetResponse is going to host our form. And we're going to go ahead and click Copy to Clipboard. And then we're going to have the URL that's actually going to be our form. We put that URL in our browser. We notice that our form comes up here, and now our customers now have a place to put their name and email address. And when they do that, they're going to be part of our database. You'll also notice that you can actually make changes and edits to the form where you have there. You can actually change the look and feel of this if that's not something that you like, and make it into something that you like. and then you will then have a squeeze or autoresponder page in order to start collecting leads. Of course, to edit the form, we could just go back to the previous step and go back to the design phase, and then we can make it look exactly the way we want. But for the most part now, we have a form that we like, we have a form that we now can work with, and we are going to now go to the next step. So with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. We have been talking about how you're going to get people to sign up for your email marketing list. And one of the ways that you do that is to create an email marketing bribe. And we're going to be talking about that in particular in this video. Now, in terms of creating an email bribe, you're really creating this in order to get people to exchange their name and email address with you. You will need to give them some kind of incentive. In other words, they're not just going to give you their name and email address just to be on your subscriber list. You have to give them something that they feel like they need or that they want. Typically, what you're trying to do is to give them some kind of information that they want in order to solve a particular problem or in order to accomplish a particular goal. Typically, if you do this and you make it so that your bribe is irresistible, they will not even think about giving you their email address. So how do you create a bribe that is irresistible? Well, you want to give your subscriber, your potential subscriber, you want to promise them 5 concrete tips, or typically someplace between 5 and 10, something that will be so attractive that, again, they will not hesitate in giving you their email address. Now, in terms of how you deliver those tips, you can record some audio. You can create a PDF document, or you can create a video and show them something specific in terms of what they can do to accomplish the goal or to solve the problem that you want to help them to solve. And this bribe is enough typically to get them to give you their name and email address if you found the right audience. Now, in some cases, you can purchase an information product that's ready-made for a bribe by picking up private label rights or resale rights products. Now, you will also want to make sure that the bribe comes in a form that your users will be able to easily consume it from their mobile device or from their personal computer. You want to give them a sense of immediate satisfaction. You want to make sure that you give them something that they can consume it as soon as they put their name and email address into your form. You also want to make sure that it's easy deliverable and downloadable, and you're going to need to put it inside of a zipped or compressed format. We'll show you what that means here in a minute. Now, assuming that you do not have or you're not using hosting of your own, you can get hosting from various sites on the web, and we're going to show you one called copy.com. Now, another way to deliver your bribe is to give them a video. And you can create a video on YouTube that is unlisted so that only the people that you give the link to will be able to see it. People will not be able to go to YouTube and search for it. So you can actually give your subscriber or your potential subscriber what you promised them by creating an informative video that will either show or demonstrate to them how they can accomplish their goal or solve their problem. Now, once you have the link to that deliverable, you can use it as the first message or part of the first message that you'll send your website visitors when they subscribe. And it's important to do this because you typically want them to go through that opt-in process and the checkout or the check-in process where they have to confirm their email address, so that when they confirm their email address, they will then get your bribe. They will get your deliverable. Now, let's go through some of these basics on screen. Now, we talked about creating an audio, and one of the best ways to do that is to use the free program that allows you to create audio from your personal computer. If you have a mic and headset, actually if you have a mic, you can record audio and you can deliver your tips that way and create an MP3 file. You'll need the program Audacity. If you'd like to create a screencast video or one that shows what you are looking at on your computer screen, you can do one just like the one that I'm doing right now. you can use the program, and again, it's free. It's called Screencast-O-Matic. This will allow you to create an MP4 video that you can also deliver to your customer as your bribe. If you want to create a PDF, now if you have Microsoft Word, this feature is built into Microsoft Word, but if you don't have Microsoft Word, you want to create a document and you need to convert it into a PDF, you can use any of these free programs if you download or if you Google free PDF maker. Use one of the programs, and typically when I do that, I typically use one from cnet.com because they're free of viruses. The rest I'm not too sure about, but if you use this one, you can typically find one that's going to be free of viruses. You can use it to create a PDF so that you can deliver your tips in that way. And of course, whenever you create a video, you can always upload it directly to youtube.com and get the link. Now, one of the things that you'll want to think about is where you are going to put the files if you are going to use a downloadable format. Now, before we do that, I think I talked about the fact that you are going to need to be able to zip up your documents, and one of the ways that you do that, you go inside of your drive, you just simply right-click, and you send your information to a compressed folder. Once you've done that, then you will have a file that is zipped and it is ready for delivery. You can do the same thing with a Word document. You can do the same thing with a PDF document. You can simply zip it. And this makes your documents, these makes your bribe, it makes it deliverable when it is going to be downloaded. So we can always go and zip and compress our files to make them ready to download. Now, one of the other things that you're going to want to be aware of is that if you're not using your own hosting, you will need to have a free hosting account where you can deliver the actual file. Now, right now, I am in the free hosting account called copy.com, and that means I can store some files here. Now, you're not going to have an unlimited amount of storage for your files. You will eventually want to get hosting, but if you want to get started, you can get a free account at copy.com, and all I need to do now is just download or just literally drag and drop my downloadable folder into copy.com. Now, once I do that, all I'll need to do is to go back to this file, and then all I literally need to do is to create a downloadable link. And so in order to do that, I'm just going to click the share button here, and then I'm going to create a public link, and then I'm going to copy that link into my clipboard. And now I'm ready to use this link inside of an email. Now, what I want to do inside of my GetResponse account is to come in and literally create an autoresponder. And then I'm going to create my first email. And I'm going to click this link there. I'm going to call this message "Thanks." Okay, and then once I have a decent title, I'm going to click the next step. I'm going to make sure that title is in both places, and then I'm going to click next step. Now, in order to keep this simple, we're just going to start from scratch here. We're going to click a blank template. And then in GetResponse, we're going to drag over a text block. And once we get it, we're just going to change the text in here and write a simple message to our subscribers. Okay, so once we have our message there, we are going to place our link here. And that is the link that we got from copy.com. If we'd like to make sure that our subscriber actually has their first name showing, we can personalize the email. And all we're going to do there is go to this little personalization, putting in their first name. And then that way, everyone who gets this email, they're going to see their first name show up in the email. So now you've got a note. Everyone that signs up for your email marketing list, they're going to get this valuable bribe that you've put together. And all you do have to do now is, now one thing you are going to have to do is I'm going to copy this entire note. And we're also going to put it in plain text, so that if people, depending on how people have their email coming in, they'll actually get to see your entire email. We're going to close that up. We're going to click Next Step here. And when we do that, we're going to save and publish it. Once we save and publish this information, then everyone who signs up for your list, they're going to get that email along with your valuable bribe. So now everyone that comes to your page, they sign up for your email, they're going to get your bribe, and now you have basically started to build your list by getting people to see your squeeze or your autoresponder page, where you're going to promise them something valuable in exchange for their email. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. Now, you may have noticed that the squeeze or autoresponder page has a very long URL, and if you were to give that to a customer or a prospect, it might frighten them or it might scare them off. And so what you want to do is you want to shorten that link and then give your customer or prospect your shortened link. So I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. Now you'll see that this URL fairly long, and what we're going to do is we want to give our customer a shortened URL. So we're going to go to a site called tinyurl, and it's actually a URL shortener. There are several of them out there. There's bit.ly and x.co. You can use any one of them that you want. In this particular case, we are going to go ahead and use tinyurl, which you're going to find right here in your Google search. And all we're going to do, of course, is we're going to take that URL, we're going to copy it, and then we're going to put it right inside of tinyurl. And in some cases, what you can do is, if you want to try to create something that's going to make a little sense, you can actually customize the link. So in this particular case, we're going to type in internet marketing 32015. And then we're going to make a tiny URL. Okay, and so our tiny URL is internet marketing 32015. So all we've got to do now is we can then take this link and we can use it around the web. We can use it in our emails. We can use it in some of the links that we present. And this is a lot better than showing people this particular link. And so as you go throughout the, as you exercise the activities, as you go throughout the course, you can use this URL to present your squeeze or autoresponder page. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to be talking about sharing your autoresponder or your squeeze page to the people that are going to be interested in having their problem solved, or having the problem solved that your bribe actually speaks to. Now, when you do this, obviously, you are basically promoting and advertising your link. Now, this video is not about paid advertising, but it is about getting that link in front of the right people. People who, when they see that you are looking to solve their problem, they are going to want to opt in. Now, you can do this free on social media sites, so in places like Facebook and LinkedIn. Now, when you do that, what you want to do is you want to pay attention to groups, right? You want to pay attention to groups on Facebook and LinkedIn where there's an interest in your subject matter, or where people have the problem that you're trying to solve. Now, what's important about that is that, of course, you are not necessarily looking to gather where the experts are who are talking about the problem. You want to gather where people are going to be interested in having this problem solved. Right? Now, another way to think about this, of course, is to share this on YouTube also. So you want to have videos that address the problem, and then you are going to provide a link that will give them a solution to that problem after the video, someplace in the video where they can actually click. Now, as I said, the objective is not necessarily to join the group of other people with your subject matter. So in other words, you don't want to, if you are looking to to solve the problem of dog training, or let's say making money online. You don't necessarily want to join a group of experts on making money online. They're looking to share their expertise. You might want to look to be part of a group where people are looking for alternatives to getting a job, or alternatives to things that they are doing for income, because they're going to be the most interested in what you have to offer. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't be in places where experts are sharing information, but you don't want to be one voice among many. You want to be one voice among many that is sharing a solution to a problem. So think about where your bribe is going to make the most sense, where your bribe is going to have the most impact, and that is where you want to share your link. You want to focus your attention on YouTube, on Facebook, and on LinkedIn. Now, obviously, you are going to have a video to share on YouTube, but you can definitely get in front of people who have the problem that your bribe solves. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, I'm going to be showing you what happens when someone actually opts into your list. Now when you get people to see your page, they're going to see what you're offering, and they're going to decide that they want your bribe. Now what happens is they're going to put their name and email address into the form on your page, and then they're going to be sent an email asking them to confirm that you have given them permission to send them business or marketing related emails. Now, once they click the link in the confirmation email, then they're going to be officially part of your email database. Now, you will then be able to see their names and email addresses inside of their autoresponder account, and then you can begin to send them marketing emails. Now, let's see this in action. Okay, now remember, we have already created our hidden URL. Okay, tinyurl.com, internet marketing 320125. And so now what we're going to do, we're just going to push this in our browser as if we were going to be one of your prospectives. So we now come to your opt-in page. What we're going to do now is we're going to type in our email address. And now that we have it, we're just going to click sign up here. So now you see what's going to happen, what your customer is actually going to see. They're going to see this that says that they're going to have a confirmation that they've got to do. So now what we want to do is we want to, just as we were our customer, we want to go to our email box to look for our confirmation. And you're going to see there that there's a confirmation there, right? So this is where you want to be aware of what your list is going to be titled, because this is what your customer is actually going to see. So you want to be aware of this. You may want to title your list something different so that when they see it, they'll see something that may look slightly more professional. They're going to click on this on the inside. They're now going to click confirm subscription, right? So you want them to click confirm subscription. And then they're going to be thanked for subscribing. Okay, so now once they become part of your list, let's take a look at what's actually happening inside of GetResponse. So we now have one person inside of our list in GetResponse, the one that we set up. There is Thomas Duncan, there's their email address, and that's where they're signed up. So now we actually have one person that's going to start getting emails from us from our GetResponse account. So that's really what is happening on the inside. What also happened, you remember, we set up a message sending out this link where we can have our bribe actually sent. Now, we didn't spend a lot of time writing the message. You can be a little more formal, but basically now your customer has access to the link where they're going to get the bribe that you sent to them. And you've placed the link inside of there. This link is now inside of their email, and you have given them valuable information. You can now begin to email them about other things. So now when I click that link inside of the email, there is the bribe, right? That's the one that we set up inside of our free hosting. and it is now downloadable. So all the person has to do is click save, and they can save the now document to their hard drive. So now you have delivered your bribe, and you have actually done your marketing to these people, and you now have them on your list. So that is what happens when someone opts into your list and you actually deliver the bribe to them. So with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Okay, well, now that you know how to get people onto your list and you know what's happening, you probably want to know, well, now what kind of marketing emails can I send? What's going to work best that will help me to make more money online? Now, when you do this, you are going to want to look at, in particular, when someone is part of your email database, you can really send two different kinds of emails. Now, one is called a broadcast email. And this is an email which you will write and you'll send to all subscribers at the same time. So in other words, if I decide today that I have a special message for all of my subscribers, then I can decide to send that email and write it today and send it today. I can decide also to send it to a segment of my subscribers. So basically, it is one that I decide and I write and I decide to send today or right now. Now, the other kind of email is called an autoresponder email or a sequenced email. This is one that you're going to write ahead of time, and you're just going to have it set up to be sent to all of your subscribers according to the day that they signed up. So in other words, if someone signed up on a Wednesday and then they get the email, they'll get the first email on Wednesday, they'll get the second one on Thursday, they'll get the third one on Friday. So these emails are emails that you have set up ahead of time. They're scheduled and they go out based on the day that the person actually becomes part of your list. Now, it's fair to mention that most marketers who make a lot of money using email marketing, they use broadcast emails, and they use them when they want to market new products or they want to market affiliate products. In other words, whenever they want to sell, they use broadcast emails, because you'll probably find that there are going to be product launches that you want to promote another affiliate, and they will not be they won't be such that you can actually put them in sequence ahead of time. You will then need to write a broadcast email to tell your subscribers about something great that you have to show them, and you will write that email and send it out as is. Now, when you want to provide education and value, typically you'll want to set those up ahead of time. You want those to go out on a regular basis. So, in other words, if you want someone to get education every single Thursday, you can set up your email sequence to make sure that people are getting a Thursday email with lots of value, okay? And so you can actually do that with your autoresponder emails. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to send both kinds of emails right now inside of GetResponse. I am now inside of GetResponse, and remember, I can send two kinds of emails. So when I look at GetResponse, a broadcast email in GetResponse is actually called a newsletter. That is what they call it. You're going to find it to be called different things inside of different autoresponder systems, but a broadcast email, or the one that I send on a spur of the moment or today, is called a newsletter. In order to create a sequence of emails, I will create an autoresponder. In order to keep track of and in order to manage those emails that I send ahead of time, I can go to the area where I can manage my autoresponders. So let's take a look at managing autoresponders. And right away, you should see something familiar. Remember how we saw this email that came out as soon as the person joined my list. You'll notice that this is going to be sent any day of the week that a person signs up for our list. You can set up emails like that to be sent automatically whenever you decide to send an email, or whenever a person decides to become part of your list. These are emails, again, they are auto-responded. They will come to the user regardless of who they are when they sign up. Now, what happens if I decide to create a newsletter? Let's find out. Okay, so what I've done is I have tapped out an email for my subscribers that I'm going to be sending on a broadcast. So as soon as I send this, they're going to receive it. Doesn't matter when they signed up for my list, they're going to receive it as soon as I send it. Now, what I'm going to do here, remember, and you might remember this from a previous video, is I'm also going to make sure to copy this. Or I might have to do this another way. I might hit Control C, and I'm going to make a plain text version of this. So I'm also going to make sure that this is in the plain text area of Get Response. They do have a feature where you can wrap long lines. You don't necessarily have to do that, but that's just something that I'll tend to do. And then now I know that the email is both inside of the HTML, it's also inside of the plain text, and it is now ready to be sent as a broadcast email. So I'm just going to click Next Step. Now Get Response is going to give me the ability to either send this email immediately and everybody's going to get it right now, or I can set it maybe a couple of hours ahead, or even Get Response will allow me to set it 3 days ahead. But now remember, this is different from an autoresponder email because I determine at this point when all receivers are going to get this email. Okay, if you want to do things on social media with the email, you can do that. But for the most part, this email is now ready to go. I'm going to send it immediately, and I'm going to hit the Publish button. Okay, Get Response is now telling me that my email has been sent according to my settings. Now, one more thing to note on autoresponder emails. I mentioned that one thing that you can do is you can send autoresponder emails on a certain day. And if you're going to educate, this is one of the ways that you will be able to know when your subscribers are going to get your educational emails. Because one of the questions that often comes up is, well, if I send an autoresponder email and I send it based on when the person signs up, how will I know when I will send a broadcast email so that they're not getting two on the same day and causing them to unsubscribe? Well, one of the ways that you can work around that is that once you've actually signed someone up, if you're going to send educational emails, you can send them on the same day of the week at the same time. This also builds trust with your subscribers and with your buyers because they'll know when to expect your emails. They'll know when you are going to be giving them value, and it's a great way for you to be able to segment or organize your marketing so that you will be able to do both. You'll be able to give value and you will be able to send marketing emails. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.